Hello everybody, Jordan Taylor here. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Today we will be discussing the matrix of the cool guy half crack. Now, this data, this information, this chart, I've been developing for the past 20 years throughout my involvement in this sport, things that I've seen, things that I've experienced. And yeah, this information is here for you as a fan to kind of better understand what you were looking at, or even if you're a driver, to kind of better understand what you're doing subconsciously when you put your visor in a different position. So yeah, this chart is basically correlating the visor position to the level of coolness the driver either looks like or perceives that he looks like. But keep in mind, this chart is based on when the driver is either in the pit lane, sitting in the car, walking through the paddock, or just sitting in the pits with their helmet on. This does not have anything to do with the driver while they're driving the race car. Let's get started. All right, so we have our chart. It's gonna have a y-axis and an x-axis. On the y, we're gonna have coolness. And this is gonna range from 0 to 10. 0 coolness, obviously not being very cool. 10, very cool. On the x-axis, we have visor position. And this is gonna range from open to closed. And we're gonna fill in those blanks in between throughout this TED Talk. Stay tuned for that. All right, we're gonna get into that right now. Okay, first level, we're gonna go to 3/4 crack. So that means the visor is open 3/4. So you just barely closed it. So this is gonna be that section. This is gonna be that section. And then this is gonna be the crucial line of this whole process. This is the line that correlates the level of coolness to the level of visor openness. So as you can see, from fully open to 3/4, it's a little cool. It's not super cool. It's probably like a 2 on the scale. So not super cool, but this section I like to call cool, calm, and collected. These are your drivers that are very cool, calm, and collected. They're very humble. They're very confident in their coolness. They don't have to go out there and try to look cool. They're just confident knowing that they're there just to do their job, and they're going to do a good job at it. From my experience, there's very little ego in this section. So yeah, I like to live my life in this section. Only rarely will I kind of venture into the unknown, which we're about to go to now. So next up, we have the half crack. Now this is the section where the whole matrix was invented, the cool guy half crack. So this section, we're gonna title this one, The Bad Boys. This is where you start seeing some very cool dudes. These are the guys that are taking gym selfies and posting them on the gram. And you know what? They're posting things on the Instagram, and you know what they're not doing? They're not texting you back. These guys don't text back. Keep that in mind when you meet one of these bad boys. These are the cool guy half crack guys. These guys like to leave a little mystery. They're consciously getting in the car, walking through the paddock, and closing that visor halfway. They know they look cool. They want to kind of keep you guessing, like, what's going on behind the visor, or what's going on? Are they a little hungover? Have they not done their eyebrows today? What's going on? Okay, anyway, that's the cool guy half crack. That's a pretty cool section to be in. If you want to live in that section, you're doing pretty good. All right, next section, we're going to the quarter crack. This is where we start getting a little bit more extreme. This is the section for the badasses. These guys are super cool. These are real life badasses. These aren't like your movie characters like Jason Bourne, James Bond, Jack Bauer. These are real life badasses. These guys aren't scripted. These are your guys walking around the paddock in their pre-ripped jeans that are way too tight. They love their tight jeans. You see one of these guys walking around in their tight jeans with their quarter cracked visor, sorry. You're like, what's that guy's name? Let me look him up on Instagram. You look him up on Instagram, you're like, what the heck's going on here? Is this an Instagram model? No, this isn't an Instagram model. This is just a quarter crack driver. This is a very cool, badass driver. He likes to live his life on the edge. This guy, the bad boys, the half crack guys, they're doing gym selfies. You know what the quarter crack guys are doing? They're doing shirtless gym selfies. So yeah, they're just next level. Yeah, if you want to live in that section, you got to be willing to take some risks. This section is also kind of reserved for the guy who may not yet be a professional race car driver, but he still likes to put professional race car driver in his Instagram bio. Keep that in mind. Okay. All right, last section. This is going to be the fully closed visor section, and unfortunately, only one guy can pull this off. And that's Kamui Kobayashi. I'm sorry, if you're not Kamui Kobayashi, you probably don't belong in this section. He's the coolest as they come. Other than that, this section is probably for the guys who think their future's so bright they got to keep the visor closed to keep the light out of their eyes. But yeah, other than that, that's the basis of the matrix of the cool guy half crack. There is one section that we're still developing. It's kind of going to be off the chart at the moment, so we'll keep this going here. This section, we're not really sure how to profile yet. If I had to correlate it to something, I'd say like maybe when you're in high school, there's a High School Musical, and your buddy Steven is the lead singer in the High School Musical, and you're like, wow, Steven, that's not very cool. You're singing in high school. That's not very cool. But then 10 years later, Steven is Tom Cruise. He turns into Tom Cruise, and he's a movie star. He's like, wow, this guy Steven, he's so cool now. So we're not sure if it's extremely cool or not so cool, but yeah, we're gonna keep this going. This section is known as the Katzberg crack. This is when the visor is so far open, it's literally on top of the helmet. Some helmets can't do this. You have to take out one of the screws to get to go that high. Certain helmets can do it. Not many people know how to do this. We're not sure if it's negative on the cool factor, because it's off the chart. We're still doing research. We're still developing it. If you see one of these people out there in the wild, catch them, take some pictures, take some videos, interview them. We'd love to get some more data on this section. Obviously, you can see it's off the chart. But yeah, this is the matrix of the cool guy half crack. I hope you guys learned something here today. If you did, please leave a comment. Please maybe tag some people that you know that fit into some of these different profiles. Because yeah, you're gonna fit into one of these profiles at some point. So yeah, thanks for coming. My name is Jordan Taylor. All right.